Direction, not intention, determines your destination. That's a quote by Tim Morris. Welcome back to Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. I'm CarrieVee, your biggest fan, the person who will believe in you until you can believe in yourself. Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee is all things confidence, clarity, leadership, communication, and life. And I'm so happy you are with me today. We're talking about direction versus intention. I was having coffee with a friend of mine a couple of Fridays ago, and this is what we were talking about. Why have we felt lost lately? And she was the one who said to me that she had heard a podcast or read a book or an article, I'm not sure exactly what, about direction versus intention. And so that put me on a search, and it has become a huge part of 2025 for me. And I want to just talk about that today because maybe it's something you want to tap into going forward in 2025. At the time of this recording, it is already January 19th. We're already at the end of January, which blows my mind. I feel like it was just Christmas and New Year's. And now, boom, we are full steam ahead into a new year. So, what are you doing with your new year? And how much direction do you have in this new year? And how much direction do you want to have? And are you still full of intention, which will keep you stuck? Having a great intention is great until it's not. Because if it's not backed by goals and direction, your intentions go nowhere. It's this belief cloud that doesn't go anywhere. It has to have direction. It has to have action. It has to have a goal attached to your intention and a why you want it in the first place. So here's an example. You notice if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I have braces on my teeth. And if you're listening on the podcast, you may hear a little bit of struggle to speak. It's been not quite 2 weeks since I've had them on, and it's a learning process to learn to talk over this hardware in my mouth. And there's a lot of it, top and bottom. I have had braces before, but it's been a 45-year lapse, about 45 years in between first and second time. And I don't really remember having to get used to talking the first time I had them on, but then I wasn't doing what I do now. I probably did have trouble learning how to talk. I probably didn't care because I was a kid, and I wasn't trying to record podcasts and be on stages speaking and coaching people one-to-one. So I've been apologizing a lot for the little bit of difference in the in some of the words and how I say them. So I had this intention for years of straightening my teeth out. They had shifted, and I noticed that they were shifting. I noticed that one of my front teeth, my two front teeth on the top, one of them was longer than the other. That's the way it was when I first got braces. I noticed that my eye tooth on the left side of my mouth was starting to shift back, and starting to shift back enough that it must have affected the root because the tooth was turning a little bit gray, and that usually is something to do with the root, from what I understand. I'm not a dentist. I knew that my teeth weren't lining up. They felt funny when I closed them. And so I found myself trying not to let them touch. But what was happening is that my molars were not matching up anymore. Just one set of molars from top to bottom of all of the molars in my mouth were actually matching up the way they should. And so when I'm eating, it was putting undue stress on my molars. And I actually cracked one, which required a $2,000 fix to get it shaved down and put a crown on. Thankfully, it did need a root canal. All that to say, for years, I had an intention of getting my teeth fixed. I even had a consult for Invisaligns about 5 years ago when I was a candidate for them, and I never followed through with it. So after I cracked the molar, then I really started looking into, I really should get my teeth fixed. And I'll be quite transparent. Aesthetically, it was really starting to bother me. I was hesitating to smile because it didn't look quite right with the way that my teeth were out of line. And my mouth too, like my whole face shape was starting to change because my teeth were starting to push in. So my intention turned to direction. And that direction was backed by action and a goal. And now the braces are on my teeth. My direction was to make an appointment for another consult, actually two of them, and not a candidate for Invisalign. I actually needed to have the actual braces on my teeth, and I put a date on the calendar to get them put on my teeth, and I made a payment in full. to have them put on my teeth the very first part of January. A lot of reasons of why I waited. The main one being the actual dental plan that the dentist offers. And it goes from January to December, no matter when you sign up. And I wanted it for the full year. That's why I waited. So the first day in January that I could put them on my teeth, I made the appointment. I paid for them. That was my direction. My goal was to make sure I don't crack another molar and have that expense and that pain. Quite frankly, it hurt a lot. And I didn't want to go through that again. So I just decided no more intentions. My intentions got me nowhere. There was no movement behind the intention. The intention was, I have a plan to someday, I have this dream of someday putting braces on my teeth or Invisaligns on my teeth in order to fix my teeth, but I never took action. There was never direction. When I put direction behind it, then there was action, then there was a goal, then there was a why I wanted it done. And here we are, almost 2 weeks into a year to a year and a half journey with braces. And yes, I am counting it down. I'm going to have fun with it, changing out the colors every month, but I am already looking forward to the day that these come off my teeth because I miss popcorn and I miss chewing on gummy things. So when I put direction to my intention, things happened. But if I still just talked about it and had the intention, nothing would be happening. I would still have teeth that weren't lining up. I would be looking at cracking molars, molar after molar after molar, which was what two different dentists said. You're in a lot of danger of doing this. I had to put direction behind that intention. If you have an intention of if you live in the South and you have the intention of going to Niagara Falls, but you head out west, you're never getting to Niagara Falls, to Niagara Falls, whether you want to get there or not, because you're headed in the wrong direction. You have to be at least heading in the right direction for your intention to manifest. So going back to this conversation I had with my friend, I was telling her how I have just felt lost over the last few years. This is going back a long time. Though I have moved forward with my business and with things in my life, it's not the way I want it to be. I no longer get up and have this great morning routine. I used to get up and have this amazing morning routine and have my workout done, my devotions done, my journaling done, my reading done, and I would still be in my corporate desk at 8 a.m. Because I was always up between 4:30 and 5. It's been a long time since that was a regular occurrence. And it started when I had my first arm operated on, which was in 2018, the fall. Well, I broke my arm in March of 2018. It started to kind of go by the wayside then. In the fall, I had surgery on my arm. And then the next fall, I had another surgery on my other arm because I broke my wrist in between that as well. There were surgeries. Then there was my mom moved in with us, and then there was a cancer diagnosis, and then there were cancer surgeries, and then my mom passed away, and then our daughter moved in. There was just all of this swirling going on that I allowed to take me off course. I allowed to steal my direction. I gave my direction away. And when I did that, everything shifted to intention. I intended to start getting up early again. I intended to make sure I was in bed on time. I had these great intentions, but there was no direction. And so I decided I was going to take direction back. So I recently joined a gym with a personal trainer. It's like group personal training. And I intentionally, with direction, planned my workouts for 5:30 in the morning because I have to be up at 4:30 to leave the house at 5 to be there for a 5:30 workout. Those days are amazing because I'm home by 6:15, 6:20 in the morning. I'm home and jumping in the shower and getting my devotions done and my reading. And by 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go to work. And I have accomplished so much. And that is me. I am a morning person. And those days in the week have really given my direction back to me and helped me fall back in love with that morning routine. And so I am working into making sure that is my routine every single day of the week and making sure that I get myself to bed on time so that I can be up early, so that 7 a.m. isn't early for me anymore. And That has been huge to put direction with that intention, because my intention is to read more. My intention is to journal more. My intention is to make sure that I am at my desk doing what I need to do, starting my workday between 8 and 8:30 a.m. Those were all intentions that I've had for a long time, but now they have direction behind them. And the direction is 100% linked to my desire to help more people, to grow my business, to speak on more stages, to coach more people, and to train more businesses. Now that there is direction, that intention is actually going somewhere because it's linked to action. In other words, belief without action is dead. You have to take action. You have to give it direction. So are you going to lean on and plan with direction in 2025, or are you going to stick with good intentions, which aren't going to get you anywhere except further into dreamland? It's great to dream. It's great to think and come up with ideas and to have these intentions, but take them further and give them direction and a goal. Because direction, not intention, determines your destination. Tim Morris. So your journal prompt today is, what intention will you give direction to? What intention will you give direction to? I am CarrieVee, your biggest fan. I love you. I really do. And I can't wait to talk to you again. And I would love your feedback. Let me know. Are you going to start putting direction to your intentions? All right, I'll talk to you soon.